No lockdown in the Lion City. In Singapore, local infection rates have been close to zero for months. A factor behind its success,
Trace together, safer together.
contact tracing technology. The government's TraceTogether program includes a smartphone app and a token that use Bluetooth to gauge proximity between users to alert them if they've been in contact with someone who tested positive for COVID-19. More than 4.2 million people, or 78% of Singapore's population, voluntarily use the technology. In June, authorities insisted it is not a tracking device and the data is encrypted and would not be used for other purposes.
The only time the data leaves the phone or the device is in the unlikely event that you are diagnosed with COVID-19.
But that may not necessarily be the case. This month in Parliament, a government minister said police can obtain TraceTogether data for criminal investigations.
Singapore Police Force is empowered under the Criminal Procedure Code to obtain any data, and that includes the TraceTogether data for criminal investigations.
Analysts say the backtracking on privacy undermines citizens' trust.
I think, that has perhaps left, an unpleasant taste, in the mouths of Singaporeans. And it raises questions about whether future assurances given by the government, with regard to data collections, data use, whether people will have, the high level of trust and confidence.
Privacy concerns about the technology have been raised around the world. In South Korea, where health authorities and sometimes businesses share the whereabouts of coronavirus patients.
I know the exact locations this individual went to. I know the door that they used in order to get inside my local supermarket.
And in China, where photos and personal information from a Beijing COVID-19 health app were reportedly leaked and sold online. When the technology required to control the virus ends up undermining privacy, what should governments do?
We need to follow the 6 data privacy principles. So it's a collection and purpose means, making sure that the information is accurate, make sure that we don't retain it for a longer period of time that we need to, make sure that we use it for the purpose that we're actually collecting it for, make sure that we have the right type of security safeguards, the openness to make sure that we share what we're actually doing with the actual data, and also allow the people to correct the data if the data is actually not accurate.
Singapore has acknowledged its error in not stating that data from TraceTogether is not exempt from the Criminal Procedure Code and will introduce new legislation to limit police use of such data. It remains to be seen whether that will placate any concerns or whether, in certain countries, privacy is considered a price of tackling the pandemic. Kristie Lu Stout, CNN, Hong Kong.